Thanks, Senator Kennedy. Just to reinforce a couple of points, I encourage all of you to take this graph. I mean, it shows the macro impact, but it also shows the cause and effect of all these policies. Again, this didn't just happen. This is the policy. When we talked about the depredations of the illegal flow, the human trafficking, the sex trafficking, the drug trafficking, understand that President Biden's policies are facilitating the business model of some of the most evil people on the planet. It's incredibly important to understand what's happening and what the impact is of the policies. And finally, just to put in one more perspective on here, combined with the known gotaways, we're talking about, on an average, 6,500 people per day for the entire year cross this country legally. That's a large caravan every day. It's completely overwhelmed Customs Border Patrol, which is why they've turned their back on this administration, Secretary Mayorkas, because this administration's turned their back on law enforcement. With that, we'll take some questions.
Concerning a different crisis, right now the Biden administration is deploying 3,000 troops east of Europe. What are your views on that? And what are you hoping to hear from officials tomorrow in your classified communication?
Well, from my standpoint, I agree with Ronald Reagan. You achieve peace through strength. And when we talk about strength, we're talking first economic strength and then military strength to deter your enemies. Unfortunately, starting with the crisis at the border, the first day in office, the actions, the policies of this administration have weakened America economically, internationally. The embarrassing and dangerous surrender in Afghanistan, we just came from a briefing there. It's noticed by our enemies. So our enemies perceive the weakness and they take the opportunity to act. I don't think you would see Putin surround Ukraine were it not for the weakness of this administration. I don't think you'd see China with overflights over Taiwan, or Iran more active in Yemen, or North Korea testing these weapons. So we are highly concerned about what's happening in Ukraine, but you need to deal with that through strength, through actions from, like we did in the previous administration. You didn't see Putin move during the previous administration where we were strengthening our military, where we were strengthening our nation. They're only moving in reaction to weakness. Anybody else want to? Okay, pardon? I think it's I don't want to aid. I don't want to provide any comfort to Putin. I don't even want to answer that question, sir.
The crisis at the border. Democrats have criticized Republicans that you're against immigration reform, but yet the American people, are you against immigration reform? You want to let them know that, but then also at the same time, you got to take care of this border crisis first, correct?
No, absolutely. And I was working with the previous administration on what I thought would have been an excellent immigration reform. We were taking like 100 different visas, shrinking down to about 6, with a metric system tied to economic activity. The legal immigration that benefits America, that doesn't exploit the people coming into this country illegally. So absolutely I want to fix it, and that's what's such a travesty about this. We were so close, right here. We'd pretty well almost gotten rid of the flow of unaccompanied children, families exploiting our laws. We still have, single individuals coming because every Democrat presidential candidate was saying, we're not going to deport anybody, we're going to give free health care. So even during the presidential debate, Democrats were encouraging what we now see. But what I made in my opening remarks is you need to secure the border as the first step. The American public will not support immigration reform unless they're confident that we actually secure the border. We learned that under Ronald Reagan cut a deal. Amnesty for border security. Got the amnesty, never got the border security, and that continues to this day. So that is the first step, and that's such a tragedy. We were so close to completing that first step so we could move forward with a functioning legal immigration system that will benefit America. I wrote an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal. We're going to need workers, but it has to be a legal process.
If I could just quickly go back to Ukraine, Senator Braun, you put out a pretty strong statement moments ago saying that you were opposed to the 3,000 troops and President Biden sending them to Eastern Europe. Can you explain your position on that? Why are you opposed?
I'm opposed because you're doing all this right when you're at the last minute. And when you project weakness, is basically the main thing you've done, not only on the border, the way we left Afghanistan. Bad actors see that. Putin thrives on it. So when you're doing things like talking about troops, the long-term thing that President Trump tried to project is be strong. When you cross a red line, make sure you pay for it, but don't get involved in these endless wars. When you do what Biden has done, you're inviting the opposite of all of what I just mentioned. And we're in the midst of it. You can't fix these things once you give all the advantages to the biggest mischief maker in the world. And he's going to prosper from this regardless of the outcome. So that's why I was against that. Too little, too late. It also gets you embroiled in something where you should have had more strength and prevention, not get caught in the swirl of the moment.
What should President Biden do right now?
Sadly, you're limited to few options. I mean, and Putin has all of them. And then, of course, we'll have to hit him hard. There's no doubt about it. He wants to reconstitute the Soviet Union. And he's going to do anything he can at any point in time. They're a relatively small economy that punches way above their weight, look like they're behaving like the Soviet Union did before Ronald Reagan put no-nonsense approaches out there where there were sanctions over a long period of time. You cannot fix this kind of result or behavior when you're caught up in the moment of it.
Anything else?
Yeah,
Sir.
yeah, back to the immigration. Can we see this as a first step into extending a hand from Republicans to the Biden administration into working into something tangible to fix the immigration system? You mentioned the polls about the declining numbers for President Biden. Also, some polls are showing that Americans are really tired from the infighting between the two parties without anything tangible on all the issues that really touch their own lives on a daily basis, especially immigration.
Well, again, I'll point back to that moment in time. After the previous administration pretty well solved the problem, that was a time where we could have had a cooperative bipartisan agreement to stand up a functioning legal immigration system. That was all blown up. I mean, we have set ourselves back so far in terms of being able to address and stand up a legal immigration system. That's what's such a shame about what President Biden and his administration has done. But, listen, good bipartisan step. How about we finish building the wall that we've already paid for? It's cost the American taxpayer more money not to build the wall than to have completed it. And that just leaves us open for all the problems associated with the illegal flow of the crisis. Okay, thank you very much.